Welcome to New Tech Summer 2025. Or actually, if you really want to think about it, it is Switch Tech Summer because certain brands have been trying to do what other brands have been good at already to see whether they can break into different avenues with their version of their tech. In this video, we'll go through some of the major ones and see which ones I suggest you might want to get and also the ones that I will be getting myself personally. First off, let's start with the DJI 360. The incumbent and most popular 360 brand we all know is the Insta360 cameras. It's in the name itself. But DJI, another popular action camera brand, has broken into the 360 space with their own 360 camera called the DJI 360. A lot of the specs will be very comparable and some will be better with Insta360, some will be better with DJI 360. The most notable differences will be the sensor size. DJI claims that they have a slightly bigger sensor. They say a 1-inch sensor equivalent. Though those numbers can be slightly inflated, we can still say that in order to compete in this space, DJI really concentrated on the image quality and the color quality of their 360 cameras. I'm just going to run through some of the simple specs that amateur to semi-professionals will care about. The DJI says they have a 120 megapixel equivalent of the sensor, while Insta360 has a 75 megapixel equivalent sensor. So point to DJI. The one major point that Insta360 will have is that the X5, the one that I upgraded to right now, has replaceable lenses. If you have any experience with 360 cameras, that bulging lens is very, very susceptible to scratching, and when your lens is scratched, everything that you shoot has that little flare, has that scratch, so you have to bring it back to the manufacturer to be repaired. But the Insta360 with their latest generation, you can do the repair at home by yourself. So that is actually one major selling point that you really need to take account if you are considering your first 360 cameras. All in all, everything else, the horizon lock or the stabilization, the quality of picture, the quality of color, those can be in post so that they can be pretty much comparable. The one thing that you need to think about for yourself is you're not necessarily buying just a camera, you're buying an ecosystem. In my summation, if you have a lot of DJI accessories, if you have other DJI cameras, if you have other DJI mics, which is actually the one thing that kind of makes it a little bit more enticing to use the DJI 360 camera. And if you don't have a 360 camera yet, maybe the DJI Osmo 360 is the 360 camera for you. But if you already have an Insta360 camera, maybe say the X3 or X4, should you upgrade to the DJI 360? Unless that color science is your specialty. If the last bit of megapixel, last bit of extra sensor really helps you taking the footage, I suggest either stick with your current Insta360 camera or upgrade to the X5 solely because of the replaceable lens. That will just give you a lot of peace of mind to really use your camera in ways that is a lot more creative, hence a little bit more dangerous. So if you crack your lens, drop the $30-$40 to replace that yourself at home, and then you can get back to shooting. For me, because I already have the Insta360 X5, I won't be buying the DJI 360, but I will have that on notice maybe moving forward if DJI does replaceable lens features in their second or third version of their 360 camera. That might entice me to have a second 360 camera or switch from Insta360 to DJI because I do have a lot of DJI accessories. I have a lot of DJI mics. It would be nice to just have like a very simple single ecosystem in terms of my action cameras. Next up, sticking with the DJI Insta360, We know that DJI as the drone company. I have myself the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and this has been my go-to super fun, super easy to use, super small, super easy to bring, sub 249 gram drone that I've been rocking for the past year. Why is 249 grams important? Under 250 grams, you don't need a license to fly your drone, according to the FAA. Though you still need permits and licenses to fly any drone in general, under 249, it's still considered somewhat of a toy, somewhat of a personal flying gadget. So you don't necessarily will be hit with the giant tickets if you fly somewhat illegally in your areas. Regardless, Insta360 is now hopping back into the drone game with their Insta360 Antigravity drone. And they are trying to make it seem that it hasn't been done before, but weirdly enough, Insta360 actually already did a camera add-on, a camera accessories for the DJI Air 2 and Air 2S series of cameras, where you have the Insta360 Sphere. So it is an attachment camera that you bolt on to your Air 2 or Air 2S with their Insta360 1R, 1RS generation of cameras. So it has been done before. So this is just Insta360's 360 camera dedicated drone platform developed by the Antigravity brand. So it's not just a camera accessory, it is their own drone camera. It's not released yet. It's rumored to be released around August. And reputable rumors mention that the Insta360 Antigravity drone is also sub 250 grams. So it's around 249 grams as well. So it will also enjoy the benefits of the Mini 4 Pro and other smaller drones where you don't necessarily need an FAA license to be able to fly it yourself. There's not a lot of other informations around that. It's just funny that both Insta360 and DJI are switching specialties. DJI is dipping their toe in the 360 camera space, and Insta360 is dipping their toes in the drone space. And I like the competition. Hopefully their second or third generation of these particular cameras become a little bit better. Push each brand to do better products, and better products means better quality for consumers and hopefully a little bit cheaper so we can enjoy all of these new gadgets in the future. As for me, I don't actually fly my drone as much as I would want to. And even just the idea of a 360 drone camera, although it sounds extremely cool, I think it is a lot of work. I mean, you have to not only fly it in a way that is near or around your subject, but also you have to like reframe it in the end to make sure that you have those unique angles. It's not just my shooting style. Perhaps there are other aerial cinematographers that will be able to use these new tools to its maximum capacity. It's not just my skill yet. Maybe in the future, if the anti-gravity drones of Insta360 are affordable enough, I may be able to tinker with it. But as of now, I'm sticking with my DJI Mini 4 Pro. Last up, it's actually one of my favorite gadgets that I use almost on a daily basis. Oakley has partnered with Meta to be the new eyewear sunglasses company to have their own smart glasses. The Oakley Meta Houston HSTN was just released in June, where much like the Ray-Bans, it is smart glasses where you can take photos, take videos, take calls, also listen to music because of the speakers on the glasses themselves. And my Ray-Ban Meta glasses is something that I love using, particularly the transition lenses, because I can use them both indoor and outdoors. And it's actually my staple way in listening to my podcasts and audiobooks because it's open ear, so I can still be listening to the environment and I'm not necessarily like in a cone of silence when I'm using my AirPods or my AirPods Max. The Oakley Meta Houston, actually HSTN, I wish that they kind of like branded it as Hasten to be fast. But they released their first model of it. It is white frame with prism lenses. And it's built for the active, outdoorsy person who still wants to not only document their activities, but listen to music, take calls with their glasses. The Meta AI that is featured both in the Oakley and the Ray-Ban systems is actually quite useful. There's translation features, there's AI assisted ways where it can read what you are capturing and maybe describe what you're seeing. I haven't used the AI assistant features a lot, but I will moving forward because the software that comes with the smart glasses is just getting better year over year. The Oakley Meta Houston glasses is something that I will actually get as soon as there are additional colors of the frame and lenses. So currently it's only the white frame with the prism lenses. So I won't be able to use it indoors because it'll be a little dark. I like being able to use my glasses when I move in and out of buildings, in and out of rooms. So transition lenses is very important for me. And a white frame is not necessarily the best frame for me. I am still gunning for either a nice black or matte or gunmetal kind of frame. So those new lenses and frame options should be dropping the next few weeks and months, and I'll be definitely getting one of those once I have the frame and lens that I like. The difference between the Oakley and the Ray-Ban glasses, apart from Oakley being the latest generation, is the Oakley has more megapixels in terms of photo and video, so the quality will be better, low light performance will be slightly better, and because the Oakley is a little bit more for active wear and they can have bigger, more sturdy frames and pack more battery in, they've extended the battery life exponentially compared to the Ray-Bans. All the other things in terms of the charging case, the AI assistant that is built in, can be a comparable between the Oakley and the Ray-Ban brands. The one thing that is, for me, still slightly disappointing in terms of this new generation of Oakley Meta glasses is from the early reviews that I've seen and the early samples that I've seen, they still have not fixed my major complaint of the angle of the shot. So what you see is not actually what is being captured. Because the camera is on one side of the lens, it's slightly angled towards your right. And it's, always going to be a little bit off center, whatever that you are filming. I really wish that there's a way, either through software or in newer version, if they move the camera on the bridge instead of on the sides of the glasses, where I can see something that is dead on. And if there is some electronic stabilization that can happen and kind of fix the horizon of what I'm seeing, oftentimes that'll be the dream and that'll be super duper amazing. I think in the future, that's where it's going to happen, whether it's on Ray-Ban's end or Oakley's end, but definitely Meta should be working on those things, because one of the things that I notice when I do videos or photos using my Ray-Ban Meta glasses is, apparently my head is always tilted and I can never really seem to frame what I want to see the way that is intuitive for me. I either have to lean on one side a little bit more or step back to get a bigger view of the scene, which is not the best way to see the details of what you're filming and shooting. But you can only pack so many things in the frames of your glasses. But I do enjoy that we are moving towards that, and we're having additional brands that are taking on the smart glasses route, and hopefully it makes it a little bit more user friendly, hopefully a little cheaper, and can use more of those features and help us in our day-to-day jobs. So those are my thoughts on tech summer or tech switch summer. Which of these new tech gadgets are you most excited to using, or which one are you getting? Let me know down in the comments. Let's discuss. And with that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.